think that male loneliness is a massive problem.
Okay, so
I think getting male lonelies are deteriorating society. I believe that straight male biology, and particularly men who have this sort of anger, is because they don't get physical intimacy. They sit there scrolling like, hey, in the DMs, and they believe then that the women are not responding to them because of feminism.
When you hear her talk, she's just completely lust-driven. It's a carnality that is really just disgusting.
She's not influencing culture, she's reflecting culture.
So you thinking, oh, let me just go get off on a prostitute, baby. You opening the door for sin.
That's even worse.
As a man, you want somebody to love you. You want somebody to see you and love you. That's what makes you feel whole as a man. It's not physical intimacy that makes you feel that. That's like Van said, that's temporary.
But let me ask you a question about the incels. Do you think the incels, do you care about the loneliness of the incel?
I think that male loneliness is a massive problem.
Okay, so
I think getting male lonelies are deteriorating society. Yeah, I think it's a massive problem.
What do you think the fix is?
One, I think we should legalize prostitution.
Dang.
Okay.
I have been standing on this for decades, and I think that prostitution should be legalized.
Okay.
They will never do this, but that I think would be a massive solve.
Massive solve. Okay.
One.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Ask follow-ups.
No. Follow-up is what, because that's a temporary loneliness fix, although it's effective.
Temporarily.
What would be a long-term fix to bringing people back together? What do you think?
Okay. So while it's a temporary fix, right? And many people will have some retorts to this, of course. It's not a simple solve. But I believe that straight male biology, and particularly men who have this sort of anger, is because they don't get physical intimacy, right? But they have convinced themselves the type of physical intimacy they would like is, their favorite star or favorite OnlyFans girl or this unattainable beauty on Instagram who is never, ever, ever, ever going to you or meet you or talk to you ever. So they don't look for the physical intimacy that is around them. They don't go outside of their home. They don't go down to the local library. They don't go to their local bar. They don't go join a social group in order to meet people because they feel that this beautiful 10, whatever, is going to walk through their front door and that's never going to happen. But they sit there scrolling like, hey, in the DMs, and they believe then that the women are not responding to them because of feminism.
All right. So yeah, Tashism, I see you. Christy, I see you. Lewis, I see you. Melody, I see you.
She got to stop talking. She does, man. She says some stuff that's just like, first of all, the clip we played 2 weeks ago, she said that she prays to God and she has a spiritual side and all this kind of stuff. But pause, because if you're talking about legalizing prostitution, I've been standing on that for decades, then you obviously don't know the God we serve. And then the fact that you would say all these different things about, I just feel like what James said earlier, people get hurt and then they run on these tangents and they go on these rampages where they say crazy stuff that doesn't make any sense to them if they had gotten what they wanted. Mm-hmm. Maybe it was a person she wanted to be with that didn't want to be with her. Maybe she was maybe she found out somebody she really was into was married and didn't tell her. Like, there's so many different things.
Sure. If she was married, she knew and she didn't care.
There's so many different things that make her look so bad, and it seems like she keeps getting more of a platform to spew this ignorance, and I'm tired of her already.
Damo said Joy Taylor is one of my favorite sports commentators, but she's sliding down the list with these hot takes on morality.
Oh no!
Why would y'all trust her anyway? Like, what would you trust her? I mean, you know the history, so what's the trust?
She is a red flag.
Oh, very much. I wonder.
She is the red flag.
I wonder how.
You see a red flag, you just see her face. George
Yeah.
Blowing it away.
I don't even.
Nothing she says makes sense to me.
I don't even know what to say.
To me, I feel embarrassed for families who have representatives like that. You know what I mean? Like, we got a whole family of people that are, like, her brother's a baseball player, right?
Football player.
She has a baseball playing brother too, right? Or she was married to a baseball player. That was her ex-husband.
I don't know who her
She was married to a baseball player.
I know she had
her
football.
Her
brother played football for the Dolphins, but she was married to a baseball player. So it's like you have this this name that you're carrying with you, and when you go out there and say ignorant things, man, you make the whole family look like. What do we talk about at Thanksgiving dinner? Like,
Jason
we all
probably-
crazy.
We're talking about it Thanksgiving dinner. Where
Jason
your mama
probably
at?
like, dang girl, what you just keep tarnishing our family?
Who's
name?"
older? She's younger, right? Than he
I
is.
think so.
Yeah. See, you got to get him
But
in check.
what do you think about what she actually said? She's basically saying that the incels. You know what incels is?
No, I don't.
You know what the
I
word means?
No.
Involuntary celibate. Meaning you're
So you
celibate.
celibate 'cause you
so
can't get
it's
no
an
woman.
accurate.
Yeah,
okay.
nobody wants to be with you type stuff. So she's saying that those people are that way because they look online at these beautiful women. She calls them tens or OnlyFans girls or whatever, and they fantasize about them. They can't get them, so they blame that on feminism as to why they're not happy. And if they could just legalize prostitution so they could get off on whoever they want, they would stop being like that. I just think that's a fundamental misunderstanding about
Yeah.
what physical intimacy does not make you feel loved as a man.
Right.
As a man, you want somebody to love you. You want somebody to see you and love you. That's what makes you feel whole as a man. It's not physical intimacy that makes you feel that. That's like Van said, that's temporary. That's misunderstanding the actual problem. What people want is somebody that actually loves them. So the people that you're talking about, I do think she may have a point that going and looking at porn and fantasizing about these women is turning them crazy, because
That's
I
what
don't think they
Danny
should
wants
be
to do.
doing that. So she has a point there, but her solution does not fix that problem, is what I'm saying.
It makes it worse, to be honest, because there was this guy or whatever, and he was dabbling in that stuff, and he has so many open doors and demons. Like I used to be around him, and literally his features would change.
I've
He
seen
would
that.
look different from one day to the next, and I would just feel my skin crawling and not understand why. And then when he exposed and revealed those things, it just was like, baby, marriage is not going to stop this or save that. You opened the doors to some serious stuff. So you thinking, oh, let me just go get off on a prostitute, baby, you opening the door for sin.
That's even worse.
Then let's take the practical approach. You want me to go get a prostitute? This is somebody who has sex with people for money. This is somebody who is probably not going to be the cleanest woman in the world, the most wholesome. So it's a risk to come along with that, like just naturally. Like I don't know. I just don't understand. Like the mindset is like when you hear her talk, she's just completely lust driven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a carnality that is really just disgusting. When you see the stuff that she's been involved in, messing with married men and dang near having sex with everybody at Fox, you know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Oh,
I'm not saying she's not able to be redeemed, or she
Trackstarz
can't be
like
saved. I'm just saying in
that's
general.
what the report
Like,
say.
these are the reports say these are reports that have been put out about her, and it's like she don't show no shame, she don't show no remorse or nothing. She just out here just still talking crazy. It's like it's something broken inside of that woman
Yeah.
that only the Lord can heal, and I
Yeah.
just pray that some point she'll recognize her need for a savior.
Yeah. And you don't want to run your mouth to the point to where people are going to come out and put you in check. You know what I mean? Messing with the wrong person's spouse could get you into some
And
real
she feel
trouble.
like her demeanor is so arrogant. She talks like she's just an authority on everything.
Yeah.
Like whether it's sports, whether it's morality, whatever it is. She talks like she's intelligent somewhat. But
somewhat. Yeah.
yeah, but she just her demeanor is like the Lord is gonna humble her.
So Lewis said her newfound podcast popularity among young women is ridiculous.
Oh.
Jesus.
she got a podcast?
Yeah, that's
Make
what,
the shirts,
what's-
Shanice.
This is
I need
why
to make
I
a shirt.
hate it.
Make
Shirt.
Mike's
This is
expensive.
why I hate it. This is why I hate social media. This is why I hate all of this stuff, because now she has a platform to go out there and toxicate other women.
But here's the thing. I hope y'all don't think she's the only one that feels this.
No,
she's
no,
talking
it's-
for people.
There's a lot of women
She's
that feel that
Amber
way.
Rose.
Oh, yeah.
Her and Amber Rose are like the same woman.
But there's a lot of
No,
women that
it's
think
like,
that way.
yeah, it's
Just,
yeah.
that's in culture now. That's not.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
not. She's not influencing culture. She's reflecting culture.
But
This
is
is how
but,
people.
but
feel.
is she
It's
saying
just a dumb
something that
argument.
I would say this? Is she saying something that's kind of true, where it is a lot of guys that do blame feminism on the way these women are acting, that they can't be controlled no more, that they can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like she's making. I mean, it's like you said, it's truth and a little bit of poison. But that is a thing that you think about of when men feel like they've been rejected because of feminism.
But what she doesn't realize is the incels she's demeaning, she is that.
Oh,
She
yeah.
is she is the female version
female
of
version
what
of
she's calling them.
Yeah.
Her morality is gone. Like it's non-existent. She is the opposite of what the guys that are on red pill, women need to do such and such.
Yeah.
She sounds just like them in the opposite
female
way.
form.
You don't want a man of God. You saying prostitution should be legal. You fried.
That part.
Yeah.
I can piggybacking on
baby,
Jeremiah's
you're
point. Like, I do kind of see where that can be understood, especially when she was saying femininity is not they're saying that that's the problem. That's not the problem, because those type of men, it's like they be wanting submission and lordship before you even married.
Yeah.
You need to do this, that. Actually, baby, they kind of push women into, I push my own wheels, I pay my own bills. You gonna add stress to my life? I'd rather wait.
And then the pornography and the prostitution, when a man is involved in that, most of the time, he's not really looking for the woman for who she is. They're objectifying the woman.
Yeah.
So if you're objectifying the woman, wouldn't that contribute more to men having, what I'm saying? Like the femininity problem, like wouldn't that contribute more to that?
But she
Like,
doesn't care about them. She's just saying if they got that, maybe they'll leave us alone.
But they
see, that's the
won't.
problem. You want to sacrifice these women over here so you can have your piece. Come on, bro.
Okay, so basically what she's saying is that she feels that men are upset about women rising through the ranks and becoming a voice.
She just feel like the culture is so backwards now that it used to be that women were submissive and they did what we wanted them to do, and men rule the world, and feminism is kind of skewing things. So now I'm railing against feminism instead of what, in her opinion, is I just need to get
laid.
Yeah,
That's dumb. That
It
doesn't
is.
make any sense.
But I think her also opinion is if these women, it's almost like how we talk about in the church, where some men that like certain women that they don't like you.
OnlyFans models,
stuff like
popular
that.
women
Yeah.
with big platforms, with big athletes, and people with money.
So I think what she was saying is, I'm in your DMs 24/7 trying to holler at you, and you rejected me because you think you're better than me, or I don't qualify, and it's all because of feminism.
Well, let's just, I think this is obvious, but let's just say it out loud. She is not to be desired.
Nah.
This is not what you want.
No.
And I think guys get a little confused because they may think she's beautiful or whatever. So that you let that
Until she started talking.
you let that block it. But this happens in just real life too, with the person down the street, where you see somebody that's beautiful to your eye, and you don't see that they're ugly on the inside, and you let a lot of stuff slide because you want it to work. Because you're like, wow, they're so beautiful. If they just did this and this, then maybe we could work. It's like, no. Like what's happening in here is more important than what's happening out here.
Right.
I think a lot of people get blinded by that. The fact that she thinks she is to be desired.
Yeah, I was saying.
She's for somebody who knows what they're doing. She is not anybody that anybody would want if they're really a man of God, unless they're just purely distracted by their eyes.
Yeah, so I see what she's doing now. So basically what she's saying is she's representing herself on this platform by saying, like, you can slide in my DMs, you can slide in their DMs, and they're not going to want to be with you. They're not going to come through your front door and just jump on top of you. Like, she's basically talking about herself. She's putting herself on a pedestal to where I'm the 10, I'm the OnlyFans model looking type woman. I'm the woman with, a platform. And now you're trying to slide in my DMs to talk to me.
She's saying you're only angry because you can't get it. That's what she's saying.
But that's not true. And that's the dumbest thing.
Yeah,
Some
dudes
people
are.
it is.
Well,
That's how you get shot at
well,
the
I
gas
feel like
station.
no. Yeah. But I feel like
escalated quickly.
Nah,
Is there a
for
story
real.
we need to hear?
yeah. Well,
Well,
I feel like
no, there's plenty of women that have received aggressive attacks just because a man
they
asked
said
for their
no,
number and
yeah.
they said no.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
I seen that in New York where this dude was like hollering at this girl, and she was like, "No, I'm not interested," and he just called out her name, and then he started beating on her.
But now I would say this too.
To give him the name, just
When
give
you
him the number, and then just block him.
They
When
call-
you see those
yeah,
skits
they
on
call it in front
TikTok,
of
you see those skits on Instagram, a lot of those women are being nasty from the jump. Like, they're being nasty from the jump. So I feel like that's
No, we're
no,
not
this is
talking about
just-
that. We talking about a woman walking in the store,
Yeah.
a dude walking behind her and saying, "Hey, can I get your number?" And she's like, "I'm not interested. I got a boyfriend
And then
or whatever."
they beat her.
And they beat up on her.
oh wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally being calm and nice. I've even experienced getting cussed at because I said no. And it's just like,
This just happened to my wife. we were in where were we? What city was that?
DC?
it's tough out here.
Was it in DC?
Pray for you.
Is that where I
You
was? when this happened?
didn't bring out the oo-wop?
I wasn't with her. So we dropped her off at a me and Noah dropped her off at a Target. We circled the block till she got back out. And when she got back in, she said these young boys tried to holler at her, and when she kind of brushed them off, they started calling her names. So that's where I'm like, she may not be wrong. I just don't think her solution is correct. You see what I'm saying? She may be telling a true story of what she sees online, where people are raging at her because they feel like she's not in a woman's place. You know what I'm saying? Or they won't give her any time. She may be correct about that. But physical intimacy is not even a temporary solution to that.
Yeah.
The people you're
It's
talking
gonna make
about,
it worse.
they need complete healing.
Yeah, they
Like,
do.
this
They
is-
need therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's gonna be like gasoline on the fire. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
feel like some men that imagine if a man get what he wants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so if he get her, the IG model, the porn star, the whoever,
Yeah, it'll really turn out mad.
That's
Turn into Diddy.
I don't want to ignore that there is a large group of men that are starting to sound very scary. They're starting to sound very scary
It's
and
scary
very
now. You know,
very like shoot up a schoolish. You know what I mean? And that can't be ignored. Just because we don't agree with this young lady doesn't mean she doesn't have a point. And those guys need to be addressed, and we need to talk about them more because they are dangerous.
Did y'all see that video with that one girl? She said it's our last date, and he was at the table. He started balling up his face and stuff. He was like,
Yeah, I saw that.
you seen that? Like, bro was like, he was mad. He was like he wanted. He didn't know. He was so frustrated. He didn't know what to do. He just.
Start crashing out.
I was like, you
What-
better get-
What is it? What is it for a man to be like in this season of like? What is it like? How we always talked about with our wives or different things, and you was like, I don't care if what that man said about my wife. My wife is a 10 to me. I remember you saying that a while ago. Like, why is guys so like enamored with getting the baddie or getting the Instagram model? Like, it's women in your influence that would treat you better than the baddie. And treat you
I see
better
what you're
than-
saying.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like they're letting the star and the influence of that person make them look better in their eyes.
Yeah.
You put my wife to me.
Yeah.
You put her up against anybody. Ain't nobody look better than her to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would hope that every person feels that way about their own wife.
Yeah.
You don't. God will open your eyes up to the person your spouse is, and
Yeah.
that person will look glorious to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how
Yeah.
famous she is. Ain't an Instagram model or a celebrity or nothing that could distract me from my wife. My wife is gorgeous to me. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So, yeah, like I get what you're saying. I see why you're saying that. Yeah, that's the
feeds
truth.
the desire to
Celebrity does not make you look better.
Yeah.
Being everybody else's 10 does not make you my 10. Like,
Yeah.
you have your own eyes.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I think it's definitely pride and ego. Less of the eyes, less of the fresh. You want to be bigger and better than everybody, so you going after these 10s. And honestly, that's why Kevin Samuels had a platform. To be honest, because it's like, baby, you are a whole 5. Why are you going after the 10? Let's be honest. Because I even have my friend, like Ezekiel's a friend of mine, and he wanted to set me up with some of his guy friends that he's discipling or whatever. And he was like, I'm going to be real with you, sis. They not ready.
That's good.
And then he also said it was some of them to where it was like, I know some men of God that's real good men of God, but I ain't going to do you like that, sis.
You talking about Ezekiel? Okay. Well, tell him to come in here.
Amen. But he was like, I ain't gonna do you like that, man. God says, because at some point we got to be sensible when it comes to attractive levels. And he was like, I ain't gonna do you like that, sis. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't see them to affirm or deny. I just was like, okay, I trust you. Amen. But his wife is gorgeous, so we understand. So.
All right. Thank you guys, Patreon, for hanging out with us.
you gotta
Hopefully
be
you enjoyed the
sensible.
bonus. Give us suggestions if there's something you see throughout the week and you want us to talk about it. I know some of you guys have been doing it in the community chats, so I've been seeing those. So keep sending. If you see something that's interesting you think would work well on the show or as a bonus, send it to us. But we love you. Tell your friends about the Patreon group. Tell them to join. Yeah, that's it. You in the field with the Trackstarz. We out.